Everyone's talking about Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Is it faithful enough? Will he change it too much? Can anyone really adapt one of the greatest stories ever told? But here's the funny part. If you're Gen X, there's a good chance you've already watched one of the best modern versions of The Odyssey, and you probably didn't even realize it. Yeah, we've seen this before. Back in 2000, the Coen brothers released Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Most people remember George Clooney's Hair, the bluegrass soundtrack, and I Am a Man of Constant Sorrow. What many people never realized is that they were watching Homer's The Odyssey, not inspired by it, not loosely based on it. It was The Odyssey, just relocated from ancient Greece to Depression-era Mississippi. Once you know that, everything starts falling into place. Ulysses Everett McGill. That's your Odysseus. Penny is Penelope. The river women are the sirens. Big Dan Teague, the one-eyed Bible salesman, is the Cyclops. The blind man on the railroad, that's Tiresias. The names changed. The setting changed. The journey didn't. That's what makes today's debate so interesting. People are asking whether Christopher Nolan is changing The Odyssey. But The Odyssey has been changing for nearly 3,000 years. Every generation retells it. Every culture reshapes it. That's not disrespecting the story. That's how the story stays alive. Gen X grew up watching classic stories get reinvented. King Arthur became Excalibur. Dracula became Francis Ford Coppola's Gothic masterpiece. Robin Hood kept changing faces. Batman changed with every generation. Sherlock Holmes never stopped evolving. Every new version sparked the same conversation. This isn't my version. Sound familiar? Here's the pattern Gen X recognizes. A new adaptation gets announced. Fans immediately worry it'll ruin the original. Casting gets criticized. Trailers get dissected. Everyone declares the old version was better. Then a few years pass, and suddenly people start calling the new version a classic. We've watched this cycle repeat over and over again. The internet didn't invent fan outrage. Before social media, people argued in comic book stores. They debated in video rental aisles. They wrote letters to magazines. They posted on Usenet. The technology changed. The pattern didn't. That's why Christopher Nolan isn't replacing Homer. He's joining a conversation that's been going on for almost 3,000 years. The Coen brothers joined it. Countless playwrights joined it. Filmmakers around the world have joined it. Now it's Nolan's turn. Every generation tells the journey in its own language. Maybe that's why Oh Brother, Where Art Thou still works so well. It doesn't feel like homework. It doesn't announce itself as a classic. It simply tells an ancient story in a way that felt completely natural to a modern audience. That's exactly what great adaptations are supposed to do. Once you start recognizing these patterns, today's entertainment news starts making a lot more sense. If these kinds of cultural cycles fascinate you, there are plenty more waiting to be uncovered here. So the next time someone tells you Christopher Nolan isn't being faithful to The Odyssey, remember this: there's a good chance you've already watched one of the greatest modern adaptations ever made. You laughed at it. You quoted it. You probably sang along with the soundtrack. You just didn't realize you were watching Homer, because that's the real power of great stories. They don't survive because people preserve them. They survive because people preserve them. They survive because every generation finds a new way to tell them. And that's something Gen X has understood for a very long time. You already watched The Odyssey. You just didn't know it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please like the video and subscribe for more Gen X Explains. Then click one of these videos to keep uncovering the stories, trends, and cultural cycles that prove we've seen this before.